Hello, everybody. I've been saying I was going to do this for a while. Finally getting around to it. I actually recorded one of these already, but I wasn't too happy with it, so I decided to just go ahead and record a new one. And that one's kind of out of date anyway, because I've made a lot of changes since I recorded that. That was probably at least a few weeks ago, so I'm going to go ahead and record a new video just to give you guys a little tour of my den down here, my new house in Kansas City. First off, a little background. This house was built in the late 60s. My grandparents on my father's side moved into it in the early 70s. And when they passed away, my uncle on my father's side kind of took over the house. Me and Lisa, we were really looking to get a house, and my uncle had been having some trouble keeping up on the payments on this house, so we decided to see if we could move in with him, and that has worked out. And me and Lisa are moved in now. We're still kind of getting things in order. I've been here for about a month and a half. Lisa's only been here for about half a month. So we're still kind of getting settled in, but my den down here is probably the most complete room in the house. We might show you guys the rest of the house in time, but for now it's just going to be the den. So I'm kind of shaking back and forth in my chair here to give you something more interesting than just a recliner to stare at. But why don't we go ahead and start with this recliner, huh? This recliner was my grandfather's, and I kind of brought it down here because my uncle already has a recliner upstairs. So this is kind of my recliner down here. I don't sit in it too much, but I do have it, and I also have a Chiefs blanket on there that my grandmother on my mother's side made. Go Chiefs. So, yeah, we got that as far as seating goes. And then we also have this over here. Let me get up so you can get a little better view of it without that table in the way. This is the new couch we bought when I first got here. It's got recliners on the armrest sides. So on the far sides of the couch, it has two recliners, which is really nice. So that's most of the seating in here. And then we have this brown leather recliner over here, which is Lisa's recliner. She doesn't spend too much time down here, but she didn't really have anywhere else for it upstairs, so we just kind of put it down here. And I sat in it most of the time anyway, so you'll notice it's got some like patching on it. That's like camouflage duct tape, because that's all Lisa could find. Or something, I don't know. You'd have to ask her, and I am not going upstairs to do so. And then we have this, which was one of the chairs that was down here. There's another chair that looks just like this. That is out in the landing, where the stairs come down, which is right outside this den here. So that's the seating. You probably noticed this table. This is kind of a temporary thing right now. I eventually want to get a coffee table, but I needed a fairly large fold-out table because I want to play D&D and stuff down here. So I needed a surface for that, so we went ahead and got a fold-out table. This is like a 6-foot-long table. I need a wider one because this one's only 30 inches wide. So I'm probably going to replace this, but it worked for now. So I think we're in pretty good shape on that. And then the other thing we have here is my computer chair. This was kind of a pain in the ass to put together. And my computer desk, which is new. We got that sent here and put together on site. I didn't really do much of it because I got kind of frustrated. And I kind of stomped off. And then Sean, Katie, and Lisa, who were here, kind of came down and found it in sort of tatters, and they were like, maybe we should finish this for him. He looked kind of upset. At least that's how I'm assuming it went. I don't know. I wasn't there. But yeah, they helped put the desk together. In fact, they did most of the work, honestly, so I appreciate that. And they also helped me put the chair together, so that was much appreciated. This is a little metal cart that was out in the landing, which I'm using for the printer and the wireless router right now. And it's also got a couple little figures on it that you can see here, like just these little die cast. Can't really get much light there, so let me see if I can get out of your way. Yeah, that's a T-Rex. They're both like these little die cast Jurassic Park figures. I've got a lot of little things like that around here. I'll try to show you as many as I can. And then we have Gypsy from Mystery Science Theater. She came with one of the Mystery Science Theater collections I have. One of my favorite little things there. Speaking of Mystery Science Theater, you'll notice Crow T. Robot here, who I've had the longest out of any of these 3 Mystery Science Theater figures. I say 3 because I also have Tom Servo. Hi, Tom. And they are on my entertainment center here. That's a sound bar in the front, and then I have, of course, the big screen TV. It's like a 42-inch, I think. It's like a Sharp Aquos. So that's the entertainment center, and then you probably can't see this stuff very well because it's not very well lit, but I have an old Super NES, which I don't even know if it works because I don't have the right cables for it right now. I'm going to get that taken care of when I can. I have a Wii down there. You probably can't see it too well, but there is a PS3, and then down below that are a bunch of games and knickknacks and stuff. Inside the sides here, this is a bunch of older games and handheld games. You can see some N64 games down there. And this is all of my newer games. So I'm trying to get, like, it's not very bright, is it? I don't know what to do about that. Hang on a sec. Okay, we're back, and I should have a little more light now. For some reason my light wasn't on. I'm going to cut these together when I get a chance to get them on my computer. But anyway, yeah. So here's my newer games, PS3 and Xbox 360. I don't have a PS1 or a PS1. I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One yet. Man, that's going to get confusing, isn't it? But I do still have PS3 and 360. I don't really play them all that much anymore, but I do have them. And then over here, past this box fan, is the plastic bin underneath is empty right now, but what I intend to do with that is store these, store these in there. Those things, if you go on down here, these are my miniatures for D&D. This case has the medium and small sized ones. This case has the large and huge sized ones. So what I'm eventually going to do is, if I ever need to go anywhere, I'm going to put all of those in this big plastic bin on the bottom here. Moving on, we have, you're probably going to get a bunch of light from this, so I'm going to turn it away a little bit. Moving away, we have my bookshelf with all of my movies and stuff on it. You've got the DVD row up here, along with a couple TV series that I couldn't really fit anywhere else. Like anime and TV series of other kinds here. And then this is all the Blu-rays, plus the Lord of the Rings extended editions. I got 2 action figures down there. I'll be surprised if anyone recognizes this one. But, yeah. And then I have an Alien. And then up here, I have my Gundam display. I'm going to get some newer ones of these, because I was looking online and there's actually some really cool looking ones. These are really old, like fairly cheap, I think, Bandai action figures. And they're missing a lot of their parts. So what I want to do is I want to go get some more expensive ones once I have the money, some fancier ones. And then I'm probably going to display them up here where these guys are. But there's my Gundam action figure display. And then I'm going to turn this light off so it doesn't blind you, because you can see it just fine with this light. And then this, let me back up all the way so you can get a whole view of it here. This right here, these are a bunch of mini posters that came with my Mystery Science Theater collections, and I wanted to frame them. So I got a frame. It was kind of a weird size frame that I had to get, but I was able to find one online. Got a frame, put them in the frame, and put them up. I plan on getting more of these collections in the future. I don't know if I will just keep it like this and just kind of take it down and, you know, put in my favorite movies as we go along, because right now this is just every single one I have. I actually don't... a lot of these movies are from the Joel era. I don't care for the Joel era, so... some of these movies I really have never watched. Like, I don't think I've ever watched Bride of the Monster, Warrior of the Lost World, or The Corpse Vanishes. The other ones I've watched because they're all from the Mike era of Mystery Science Theater, which I enjoy a lot more. So, yeah, I might just switch those out in the future, but we'll see. And yeah, this is just a little light I have over here. I don't find it real useful because the lights aren't covered. So they really kind of blind you, like they were blinding your camera here when I was pointing you in their general vicinity. You might not be able to see this very well, but this is, if I can... oh, God. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're getting a nice little view here. That is one of my 3 katanas. This one I actually have a stand on the way for. I'm going to put a stand on this counter here and kind of display the sword that way. So that's why that's kind of just lying there right now. It's actually supposed to be here tomorrow, but I wanted to go ahead and get this taken care of today. So, and you can't really see this real well, so I was just making sure my light was on. So I'm going to have to get a little closer to it. I was just giving you a shot of the whole thing here. This is a giant-ass action figure from the Independence Day movies. Complete with a little opening up face, just like the one in the movie. And apparently it made noise at some point. So yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily my favorite movie of all time. But, you know, I had it, it was big, and it was kind of cool, so I decided I would display it. You'll notice up here, I have a little bendy skeleton man. He's not really of any significance, I just kind of put him up there because I thought it was funny. So, there you go. Maybe it's not, it probably isn't. Down here, we have a little short sword. I'll get to the action figures in a second. And we have, this here is like a Darth Vader mask that kind of opens up into a playset. I figured I'd just put it up there as a little display piece for Darth Vader. And then here, we have my original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures that I had when I was like 3. So, I thought that was kind of cool. When I found them, I decided to display them all. They fall over kind of easy, particularly Donatello, because he was my favorite, so I played with him the most. So his joints are kind of loose, so he kind of falls over pretty easy. Next, you have a little Dimetrodon, which is kind of crammed up against that there, so I'm going to move that. Jurassic Park action figure, and then you have one of the alien ships from Independence Day. These are apparently worth quite a bit of money, so I think I'm going to see if I can sell this at some point, but for now, it's going to be displayed. And then down here, you see a little like knife there. I'm not a huge fan of that. I still have it. So this down here is really just storage. There's not really anything down there of significance. Moving on, I got a little radio there. And then we have one of my wall scrolls, Full Metal Alchemist. Moving on from there, you see my little table, which I have my DS and stuff on. And then another wall scroll with kind of light drowning it out there. The Trigun wall scroll. This I just recently got up. This is... oh, I'm going to have to move a little further back. This is my sword rack. It's got 2 katanas on it with decorative handles. And then over here, you've got another wall scroll, Cowboy Bebop. These are all hung, the wall scrolls at least, with command tabs. So those were fairly easy to get up. The sword rack was actually easier to get up than the diploma, believe it or not. Because I only had, I was able to put one of the ends of it into a stud, and I just had to use a molly bolt for the other. And by the time I got to that, I had figured out all of the problems I had had with the Molly bolt in the Diploma. So it was way quicker to get that up, which was kind of silly to me, but whatever. And then you move on over here. That's the door. It's just like a sliding door, so you open it up, and that's the landing out there. Trash can, not significant. World of Warcraft poster from Wrath of the Lich King. Actually got this when I pre-ordered Wrath of the Lich King back in college. I believe Sterling took me to go get this, so it's kind of a good memory as well. Hey, Sterling. Diploma. See, I recorded this already once, and it kind of screwed up on me, so I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. I don't think I did. This is my diploma up here from the University of Arizona. Kind of up above this whole bookcase here, which is one of the primary kind of displays in my room. As for this bookcase, this is a tennis ball. Ignore that. We put it up here so the dog doesn't get it, so let's just drop it back there. This is my class of 2003 owl Beanie Baby. Just kind of a graduation gift. This is a Diablo action figure. It's from one of several Blizzard action figures I actually have on this bookshelf. He's supposed to have a soul stone, but as you can see, it's missing. It fell out a while ago, and I was never really able to find it. So, then we have a Sentinel from the Matrix on display. Going further down, we have a Mechagodzilla action figure who is probably shining back a lot of the light, so you probably can't make out the details too much, but there he is. This is the little Hulk cup topper we got from Age of Ultron when we went to go see it, me and Lisa. She kind of got this for me sort of as a surprise, so that's sort of a memory deal as well. ME-109 Messerschmitt, just like I have a few die-cast airplanes on here, that's one of them. Barbarian action figure from Diablo 2 with shield and axe. He's got a bunch of other weapons as well, but this was the best combination as far as displaying, I thought. He has a really weird stance, as you can see. His leg kind of sticks out and he has his toes up. I don't understand it, but that was the best way to get him to stand. So, Boba Fett action figure. I've also had that since I was very, very young. In fact, I don't even remember playing with it. I had it at that young of an age, and you can tell it looks pretty old. He doesn't stand on his own, that's why he's kind of sitting down. F-14 Tomcat display, that's the only one I really have a plastic display for, so it's probably the best looking of them. I think this is a Greater Mummy from Diablo 2, the ones that like summon undead things to attack you. Yeah, that's what this guy is. He falls over all the fucking time, and it is really irritating. F4U Corsair, just another of the die-cast planes. I have a Diddy Kong amiibo, who I have yet to really play with. He's kind of just a display piece at this point. I do eventually plan on getting a Wii U and the new Smash Brothers game, but right now I don't have it, so I just kind of have a Diddy Kong amiibo. Godzilla action figure. I figured this was a good counterpoint to Mechagodzilla over here, who's supposed to make noise, but I think the battery's dead. Go a little further down. These are my D&D books, at least some of them, the ones that I use the most. So this is like the regular use bookcase, or bookshelf level. A couple binders for DM and player notes, Pathfinder books, 5th edition books. You can see my 2 DM screens in there if you look right. Alright, can't really point with the hand that has the camera in it. DM screen, DM screen. Dice bag, you can see back here my battle mat. Like notes. A basketball, which is kind of like a stress ball slash, keep myself occupied ball. Can't really use it too much though, because every time the dog is in here, he thinks I'm trying to get his attention with it. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. This is probably my favorite mini from my collection. This is a bronze dragon. I really like bronze dragons, so he is on display instead of over in the cases. Lisa's actually got 2 of my minis up on display in her room. Maybe she'll take a video of that at some time, but she has a Pegasus and a gold dragon up there. So, I have the bronze dragon down here, and I let her have the gold dragon because, I don't know, something about gold dragons, they just seem like they're too mainstream, man. I'm a dragon hipster. I'll admit it. Okay, back there you can see all of my 4th edition books. I have quite a few of them. 3.5 Player's Handbook and a Pathfinder Bestiary, along with some other various books like Watchmen, Diablo 2 Strategy Guide, Age of Empires Strategy Guide, and Turok 2 Strategy Guide. I used to have a ton of strategy guides. I don't have any use for them anymore because, you know, internet, hello. But I always kind of liked reading them because it was kind of my way of reading, because I really had trouble getting into books as a kid. I just didn't have the patience for it. So strategy guides were kind of my way of reading, because it was still about video games, which were the thing I enjoyed most as a kid. But it was reading, so it was kind of a way of tricking my brain into reading. That's what strategy guides were for me. And there's also a lot of cool stuff in them a lot of the time. Like, they get these cool little lore tidbits, so I always found that real neat. Then we have some other action figures in front of the books here. You probably noticed them as I was pointing out the books. This is like an Easterling warrior from Lord of the Rings. Predator, who is probably one of my favorite movies. A little SD Gundam dude. I don't even remember what the name of that thing is. G Gundam? Something? I don't know. I think G Gundam is the series. Whatever. Marine from StarCraft. I also have a Zealot, and I actually like Zealots more, but the Zealot does not stand on his own no matter what I do. So, no displaying him. I'm just going to display the Marine. And then we have a Ringwraith, who is really, really dusty, and so dusty that I can't really clean him up, but there he is. And I have a couple other books over there. This is just various storage stuff for action figures and stuff. Ones that I don't really have the room or desire to display. Those are a couple little doodles that Katie made on some cardboard that we were using as a box for the desk, I think. Or it was the box for the desk. And I think we were trying to figure things out, and she was just kind of doodling, and I thought it was kind of cool, so I saved it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I did save it. Penny Arcade poster. Had that for a while. I don't really read Penny Arcade anymore, but it was always one of my favorites, and I like the poster, so I keep it up on here. And I got a Adventures League poster, which came with my DM screen, and a Star Wars poster, which came in my dad's cereal. It was kind of strange, but I thought it was cool, even if it does have like the folds in it and doesn't look, you know, particularly fancy. You know, I needed an additional poster over here to kind of complement this one, so we went ahead and did it here. You might have noticed this door, which I haven't really talked about. That's because that is the bathroom. I'm just going to give you a quick look in here. The first time I recorded this, it really wasn't usable. Now it is. You'll see a litter box there that we need to get a bigger one of because the cats, it's just not big enough for the cats. And there's the bathroom. We need to replace that vanity and a bunch of other stuff. But the toilet works. That's all I really care about. And you can wash your hands. So it works. That's what's important, right? There's also a crawl space storage back in there, but not really much point in showing you guys that. I mean, it's just a crawl space, so whatever, you know. Okay, before we finish up here, since I'm almost done... Oh, I did forget about 2 of the wall scrolls. Okay, so that's my Attack on Titan wall scroll, which is kind of right next to my desk here, along with this one. This one has always been next to my desk. That's Resident Evil 4. And this is one of the first wall scrolls I bought, and it's one of the ones that's in the best condition too, which I am grateful for. And I love Resident Evil 4. It's one of my favorite games of all time, so nice to have that next to me here. You probably saw this wall scroll a few times when I was kind of swirling around the room, but here's your official look at it. That's a Gundam 83 wall scroll. It's my favorite, probably one of my favorite short-term anime series. Like, what's the word? OVA. Probably my favorite OVA. There are some other really good Gundam ones, but this is one of my favorites for sure. I wish I had more action figures I could display from it, instead of just the ones from 8th MS Team, which are all I really have right now. Now, desk. First off, you'll notice a little raptor up there. I kind of just put him in the window. Lisa took all of my dinosaurs because she is a tyrant. No, it's actually because I didn't have any room to store them, so I just let her take all of them and put them in her room because, as you might have been able to tell, I am pretty much full up on storage space. I could cram some other stuff in some places, but it would kind of cheapen the displays of everything else, so I'm not worrying about it. Yeah, this is the desk. That's my microphone, my kind of professional microphone that Lisa got me for Christmas. Speakers, camera, blah, 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 blah. A lot of fairly insignificant stuff. That's a little squishable, fox squishable. A moose Beanie Baby, because moose are one of my favorite animals. This is like a Magic D20. It doesn't work especially well, but maybe we'll get to see something here. It's not going to do it for camera, I'm sure. Maybe I can get it to come up. See, I can't read that through the camera. What does it say? It says run away. Okay, so we got run away. I didn't ask it a question. That's probably why it didn't give us a very good answer. But whatever, I don't care. I was just showing it to you. And then I have a bunch of little Star Wars Micro Machines here. We got an X-Wing, TIE Fighter, a Rancor, the Millennium Falcon, and an AT-AT, or AT-AT, or however you want to say it. And then we got my nice little backlit keyboard, which is kind of cool. I was tired of cheap keyboards because I kept having cheap keyboards, and I got a keyboard that literally did not work out of the box, and I was so angry that I went online and decided I'm going to get like a expensive keyboard so I never have to buy another keyboard. That's what this is. And it wasn't even really that expensive. I think it was like 40 bucks. That might be a lot for a keyboard. I don't even know, but it didn't seem like a lot to me. So that's pretty much the room. There's just really a couple more things to show you. Like, this is where all my PC games are. The rest of them are kind of down there. Finding a place for those was fun, because I was out of room, so that was kind of difficult. A couple more PC games and software down there. And then that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the room. So, hopefully that was interesting, or at least, you know, you saw some cool stuff. I don't know if I own stuff that's all that cool necessarily, but I like it. Maybe you do too. So, I think that's going to wrap this video up. I'm going to go ahead and edit the first part together with this second part here. Hopefully the lighting will be okay. And yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm doing great here. And talk to you everybody soon, whenever I get the chance to talk to you.